Hello guys, so in this video we're going to have a look at the Kramer PIE compressor. So just a really quick bit of history. The PIE compressor, although it looks like the sort of SSL G-bus kind of thing going on, it's actually a pre-Neve compressor that used to be in the Neve consoles. So you're probably going to find it's not quite going to sound or perform how it looks, but it can have a pretty nifty effect and it's got quite a nice feeling and sound to it. So we're going to test it out on this, well, the drum bus of this particular mix. So these be the drums. And that is a break I've put together with some of my own sounds, some sampled instruments and other bits and bobs. So what we want to do is gel all of that together using the compressor. And the PIE compressor's just got some pretty basic controls that lets us do it. What it does have, which is kind of tasty, is this analog control here. And effectively it's giving us the different power types that would run through it and then give it an analog vibe. So you're going to experience like a little bit of hum and noise with it. We can have it off on 50 Hertz, on 60 Hertz. There's no difference when it's just kind of switched on, but when it's engaged, you get a change in the profile ever so slightly. Meter wise, we've got input, gain reduction, output, all make complete sense and on nice switches. For some reason, the default preset when you load it up has got +6 dB gain. I don't know why. It means literally we engage it and it's already compressing really hard and boosting really hard. In this case causes my drums to clip straight away even though they were relatively well balanced. So what I recommend doing is just zeroing things off here, so like threshold so it doesn't touch, output at 0, and you can just hold option and click these to do that and then it's not going to touch it. Below those two controls, we've got our decay time and our compression ratio. So notice here we don't have an attack. It's got a default built-in attack. And that just triggers the second the threshold is exceeded and hasn't got a variable measure. However, our decay time we can absolutely do. And what we can see is whatever value we've got times 100 milliseconds. So 1 would be 100 milliseconds, for example, and going up from there. As you can see, if we put it up to 32, pop from changing it actually causes it to trigger, and we can see just how long that really takes to get back to 0. Watch. So if you're after a really heavy pumping effect or you want something to tail off really, really smoothly, you can absolutely use that and it tails off so analog-y and smoothly if you like. We're going to have it on really quick because we're doing this on percussion. And then we've got our compression ratios, and they're all set ratios. We can't actually snap between them at all. I do like the fact that whenever you change it, there's kind of a pop within the plugin that causes it to trigger. That kind of cool little thing built in there. So we'll have this at a nice 1. If you push it all the way to the right-hand side, it is actually limiting. We'll go 1 for 1 for the minute, and then probably, actually, do you know what, on drums, 2 1s probably going to be the nicest. We can just click straight on the value for that. And let's just dial that threshold in. There you go. So we can see here we've got a gain reduction at the absolute extreme now, going to about 3 dB. That's the sort of range I like to use when compressing drums to help them all glue together. So we're taking quite a bit out now, and what we're going to do is use our output and we're just going to add a bit back in. Now thankfully the output doesn't snap like everything else, so we can add sort of 2.4 back in and we should be good there. See, because of the attack now, we're getting some areas sliding through just a little bit, but that's about right. So if I take the threshold back 1 more, that should get us in a nice ballpark. And threshold back just another 1. And we're still getting some slight overshoot, so we're just going to gauge it back a little bit more, much as a dB. Beautiful, and that's got things nicely set up there. So let's just A and B it quickly and see how it's gelling those drums together. See how everything feels a little bit disjointed when it's off? The kick sort of got loads of space around it. This just glues it all together. It does feel a lot more like a break. And I would maybe even tailor it back just a little bit more. 3 dB might be a bit much on this break, but it just sounds better overall as a break. Now let's see if switching on the analog side of things brings us any extra flavor that we like. In this instance, this big full drum break, not really hearing any benefits or negative side effects from switching analog on, but equally, I would just leave it off in this case. But that is essentially it, guys. Super quick breakdown of what I like to use this plugin for, and that's just that gluing compression. That's a little bit different from always using the G-Bus, and you don't always have those same ratios and performance types going on. Pretty quick and easy to set up. I will usually partner it up with just a standard compressor, and in this case, it is the SSL inside Logic, and just get them to work together instead. But that, guys, is essentially it. I hope that video was helpful for you, and I will see you guys on the next one.